Hello everyone, this is Michael Wolf for WatchReport.com. I would like to present a new model from Reactor watches. This is the Valkyrie chronograph, Rob Holland Signature Edition. Before I get into the watch, I want to remind everyone that there will be a link at the bottom of the video presentation that'll take you over to the full written review on WatchReport.com. Also, click the subscribe button, follow WatchReport.com here on YouTube. There are a lot of good video presentations to check out, and I'm sure Watch Report would love to have you as subscribers. So we have the Valkyrie Chronograph Signature Edition, Rob Holland's Signature Edition. The Valkyrie is Reactor Watch's first pilot watch, and when they made this pilot watch, they wanted to hold close to their values. As far as watchmaking is concerned, they wanted something big, bold, and atypical, because this, when you think of a lot of pilot watches, you don't think of big and bold, and they have definitely stepped outside the box in that regard. You're seeing this on my 7 3/4 inch wrist, and it has a ton of wrist presence. So there you go. Good look at what it looks like on a 7 3/4 inch wrist. I'm going to set the watch over here for just a second, because before I get into the watch a little more, I want to go into the packaging. I normally don't go into packaging, but in this particular case I will. A lot of my written reviews and video presentations mention how I prefer functional packaging, but I also really dig extreme packaging, and in this particular case we have extreme packaging. Even though it'll end up in the closet with a lot of your other jewelry style cases and so forth, it's just very cool. It's just a classy presentation put on by Reactor for their limited edition, signature edition pieces. Large, oversized, rubberized case. Has, limited edition placard on the front, signed at the top. The interior, there's foam up here to protect the watch, but it is also branded underneath the lid. Placard on the inside, model and serial, warranty, extra length, which you get with every Reactor watch, tools, extra lug bars, and a strap. I've definitely got some photos on the strap in the written review, so you'll definitely have to go over there and check that out. But you get all this with this watch, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this watch retails for 900 USD or a little more. So it's not super expensive. All right, as with every Reactor watch, they emphasize their DNA, and basically DNA is just basically the components of the watch. In this particular case, we have a marine grade stainless steel. They also make watches in titanium, but this is marine grade stainless steel. We have alternating finishes, as you can see. Brushed at the central section, and then high polished on the lug tips. Real good look at the nice finishing. Apologies for the fingerprints. The high polish is really hard to keep clean. Crown side of the case, as you can see, this is a chronograph, so we have function pushers, sign crown. The crowns are all nicely knurled, as you can see. Very easy to grasp. The only thing that I will point out about the crown, and I don't know if I'll get it to show up in the video very well, but I will do my best. As you can see, there's just an ever so slight wobble once it's unscrewed. Well, it's not going to impact the functionality of the watch, I don't believe so. But I just wanted you to be aware of that. Very smooth, no grinding, nothing in regards to that's screwing down or unscrewing. Top function pusher, bottom. They operate the chronograph as you would expect, start, stop, and reset. Alright, the bezel. This is not the typical bezel. This is a E6B slide rule bezel, and I'm not a statistician, I'm not a pilot, but this bezel and the chapter ring surrounding the dial are all set up in a way that a wide variety of calculations can be made. As you can see, some of them would be in regards to fuel, oil, liters, and then when you look at the chapter ring, there's notations for miles per hour and so forth, and I'm sure it can calculate a lot more than just in those notations, I'm guessing. The bezel is a bidirectional bezel, so it'll turn both directions. It doesn't have the standard clicking. It is very firm. It's not going to knock out of place still, but it will rotate in both directions. And like I said, there's no standard clicking. There's a pip at the top of the bezel, as you see on most watches. The crystal is a mineral crystal. It kind of holds true with the Reactor philosophy. Their watches are built for toughness, to be really worked hard, and mineral crystal is going to be a lot more durable typically than sapphire, especially in regards to impact resistance. So that's why they have opted for the ceramic mineral crystal in this particular case. As you can see, it is a carbon fiber dial. Big date at the 12. Small second, as you can see, ticking away at the 6. We have the chrono hour counter over here at the 3. And then we have the minute counter at the 9. And I don't know if I'll get it to show up really, really well or not. There's your Rob Holland signature and the airplane. And for those of you that don't know much about Rob Holland, he is a world champion aerobatic pilot. So for him to put his name, basically a stamp of approval on this watch, it takes a lot for public figures to do that. So there you go. Lots of lume at the markers surrounding the dial. Reactor, again, going into their DNA, they pride their lume, and they believe their lume application is better than anyone else's, and it does light up very well. I do have a photo in the written review, so check that out. Very limited branding, just Reactor name logo above the center dial, and with this being a chrono, you really couldn't put anything else on the dial the way it's laid out, but very clean, uncluttered dial layout. The bracelet, again going to Reactor DNA, is connected to the case using lug bars, and these are held on by it's a lug bar and a hex screw. The limited edition, signature editions come with a tool, as I showed you earlier. They unscrew really easily, but obviously it's a durability aspect that Reactor is proud of. Rather than using spring bars, it's going to keep this bracelet or strap, whichever you have on, secured to the case more effectively. Nice PVD knurled center links. Just kind of, I like this because it matches up to me with the carbon fiber dial very well. So that was a very, very great choice of texturing. Links are connected using friction pins. Again, we've got brushed and high polish finishes, coordinating with the case very well. We've got something that you don't see on a lot of pilot watches, and I think a lot of pilot watches should go to this. We have a dive clasp, a push button dive lock, flip lock with safety. And then here's another great aspect, 3 micro adjustments. No half links, so the more micros you have, the better. This is going to help you adjust to the wrist a lot more effectively. Branding as you would expect. So there you have it in a nutshell. This is the Reactor Valkyrie Rob Holland Signature Edition. And it's a big, bold pilot watch. It's definitely outside the box for pilot watches. 49mm case, probably 53 or so, including the crown. 24mm, I believe, inner horn on the lugs. Tapers to 22 at the clasps. So everything about this watch is big and bold. I'll have some more detailed specs and so forth in the written review, so definitely go check that out. Would like to thank Reactor Watches for providing this model for review. Would like to thank each one of you for watching, and definitely go check out what Reactor has to offer. And if you're interested in a big bold pilot watch, definitely check this one out. Thank you, and stay tuned for my next video presentation, hopefully in a week or so.